Gibbo's Garage, everyone. This is the first episode of probably many. By way of a quick introduction, I'm not a mechanic. I'm just a DIYer with a passion for cars, and I want to see if I can take cars that are destined for the scrapyard, that are about to be chopped up, see if we can fix them, give them a new lease of life, and find them a new home. Now, I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes, and I'm sure the comments are going to blow up with everything I'm doing wrong, but hey, I'm here to learn, and hopefully you guys can have a laugh along the way and follow the journey. So here we go, the very first car of Gibbo's Garage, first one on the channel, and as you can see, it's not going to win any drag races. It is a 2011 Mini 1D Countryman. So this has a 1.6 turbocharged diesel engine which kicks out 90 horsepower. The fact it has a turbocharger and only does 90 horsepower, I don't know, but it does do 72 miles a gallon. So this is going to be a cheap one to fix, hopefully, but also a cheap one to run in case I decide to have this as a daily. It's got plenty of room. It's got 5 doors. As you can see, there's a clear, obvious, massive scratch down that rear door, which we are going to have to fix. And this was always a good test whether the brakes work. Good. Didn't smash into my garage, but yeah, we should have some fun with this one. So what else is wrong? Well, it doesn't start for starters. There is a little bit of damage. Just a little bit. See if any of the eagle-eyed viewers can see where it is. But it's plainly obvious, really, isn't it? So he's going to need a new door. I mean, that is quite a considerable scratch. How deep is that? Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, that's deep. That's going to need a new door. Can't be that expensive. I'm not, I repeat, not buying from Mini. Other than that, it just needs a damn good clean. Damn good clean. Get it working. There's going to be other problems. I know it. So a bit of background. So this, as I said, is a non-runner. Let's have a look at the boot. And I know, well, there's your first clue. Fuel pump's been had at, which means that me changing the fuel pump's probably not going to do an awful lot. Oh, it's the original Mini. Hello. Oh, of course I can't do that with one hand. Well, there's a jack in there somewhere. Yeah, other than that, pretty clean. That's really worrying why that seat's all out. I know they've had the fuel pump out, which means they've already tried to either cowboy a repair or fix it and it didn't work. Let's give it a go. Again. Well, there's no warning lights. Let's give it a go. Foot on the brake. Nothing. Foot on the clutch. Nothing. Nothing. Oh, battery. Although what I have found, now these give me a pretty good idea as to how well looked after the car is. So shall we have a little look? What do we have? Do we have a service book in here? I should have just taken it all out, shouldn't I? Handbook. Emergency. One thing I did find when I was having a look through, I say having a look through, it was on the front page. Look at that. One keeper. Woo! Do you like that? Now let's see if this one particular person actually enjoyed their Mini and looked after it then, shall we? So what do we have? There we go. Finally told me the battery's flat. Let's turn it off actually. Those bongs are going to be the bane of my hearing. Oh, we have some servicing. What's this? 2024. That's a good sign. Oh, be a full service. Be a full service. Yeah, major service. Lovely stuff. We like to see that. How many miles ago was that? So, doing some one-handers. Incredibly frustrating. Okay, that was done on the when the MOT was done 2024. Okay, so it had a full major service last year. 2,000 miles ago. I'm still going to look at changing the fluids anyway, just to peace of mind, because you never know what's lurking. Another service, when was that? 2022. This is looking good. We like this. Another service, 2020. Fantastic. Thing is, this car's only done 71,000 miles, so every year it's only doing a couple of thousand miles. So I think a service every year is at OTT. So every 2 years seems absolutely golden. That's this. Emissions, MOTs, more MOTs. They kept every MOT. Look at that. Literally every MOT since it was new. Cool, I'm liking this owner. So these are the services that came with the paperwork. Yeah, 2020. So it seems the last service written down was 2020. The Holy Grail. Right, please be stamps, please be stamps, please be stamps, please be stamps. 14,000 miles. What a random place to put a stamp. Come on, where's the goods? 21,000, 2013, 25,000, 30,000, 30,000. Brilliant. 2015. So it seems 2015 to 2020, they didn't give one solitary crap about the condition of their car, but recently it's looking pretty good. So I'm trying to piece together what this owner's like. So they looked after their car for most of it, got good services, went to the same garage, did it all properly. They were a girl, and I'm finding multiple hairbands throughout the entire car. But I think the best test to do is what's in the CD player. Any guesses? Let's have a look. Well, actually, should we see if there's a CD in there first? Let's have a look at CD. I mean, the car doesn't smell like it.
Because drugs are bad, okay?
I don't think you can do any aggressive driving in this with this blasting. Well, that was easy to find, wasn't it? Let's get a charger on that, see what's going on. Trying to do this one-handed is always fun. How am I going to get you on there? Bollocks. Right, I need 2 hands. Right, well, 8.2 volts is going to get us absolutely nowhere, so let's charge it up. So, as you can see, we are here at day 2. Actually, I should probably not keep count of how many days I've worked on this because it might get a bit depressing. So, as you can tell, car's been on charge overnight. Hopefully we can get the engine turning around. Turn it around? Turn it over, that's what I meant. Right, let's have a little look. Oh, do you know what? I haven't actually appreciated how nice this is. Very quirky. Although, looking up there and having to have a speedo down here is, I don't know. Seems a bit distracting to me, but anyway, let's give it a go. Let's see if we can turn you on.
Oh, behave. Yeah.
Well, we have lights. We still have noise. Let's give it a go. Well, it gave a little noise. A little noise. It wanted to go, but the good news is it is turning over. So an unsuccessful start, but it does give us a couple of good newses. The engine's not seized. Good newses. Yeah, the engine's not seized. We have power, we have battery, we have power going to the start motor. That's all fine. So what do we need to start? 4 things. We need compression, we need a spark, we need air, we need fuel. I don't think compression is going to be an issue because the people said that this ran and it was fine. There hasn't been any flood damage, there hasn't been any bangs, there's no oil leaks underneath that I can see, there's no big holes in the block, so I think compression should be okay. The one thing we do need to test is fuel. Now, I'm getting an absolute stink of fuel when I get into this car. There's a couple of reasons why that is. So, if we go to the back, as you saw last time, this is currently not fixed, and that's exactly where the fuel pump is. So, if you have a little look, oh, come on. There we go. So if we have a little look down here, can I focus? There's our fuel pump. And if you can see, we have some wires. And if you can also see, we have some wires that have been cut into, which means somebody's had a stab at. I mean, if you're going to cut into wires, resheath them. That's a better look. So if we have a little look here, wire cut into, which means someone's tried to stick 12 volts to this to see if it works, and it absolutely stinks of fuel. And they haven't even bothered clean up. It's just fuel and crap and dirt, and bolts. I mean, I think I'm going to have to test this anyway because, oh look, there's even a wire. And more bolts. I'm going to have to test this because if someone's been in here and faffed about, the engine's not starting, at least it means know the fuel pump works, because otherwise it's going to be first on the list to replace. So let's test this pump. I know somebody's probably tested it. I'm fully aware somebody's probably tested it. Actually, probably better if I go in through the receipt. But if they've tested it and it was broken, then I need to test it too. So I've got a bit of a janky rig going on here, but I don't have a spare car battery on me. So what I have got is a little tiny 12 volt unit here, which I resurrected from an old exercise bike that broke many years ago, but I've just kept it and it's really handy for testing, you know, LED lights, anything on the car that runs off 12 volts. This is super, super duper handy to just give it a quick test. So all I've done is I've put a negative wire to the negative terminal, positive to the positive, and we're just going to see if connecting it to the pump actually makes the pump make a noise. So, oh, am I going to electrocute myself? Am I going to blow something? No, confidence, that's what we need. Did you hear that? Don't know if you can hear it at all. So it works. Right. So, one thing less to replace, which is... So the pump's okay, which is good. Next thing, so the way that the fuel system works is there's an electrical signal that comes from the ignition, which then goes through to a relay, which then goes to the pump, and that's what kickstarts it. At the minute, when I put the key in, I can't hear the pump. Oh, the battery disconnected. Oh, so I can't even show you. Right, you're just going to have to assume that there's no noise when I put the key in the ignition. So that means it's got to be relay. Now, Mini in the infinite wisdom didn't think, oh, I know, let's put the relay in a nice easy place, like open the bonnet, unclip it, clip it back in. Oh no, we're going to solder it in between the fuse board. So the only way to change it is to take the fuse board out, unsolder everything, resolder it all back on again, and then put it back in the car. This is already testing my ability, but we'll give it a go. So as you can see, I've already taken the cover off, and this is what we're dealing with. So it's not actually any of these fuses. These are just for anything electrical in the car. So whether it's your windows, your stereo, your heater, these are all the fuses. The relay is behind this. So looks like we're going to have to take it out. Fiddling about for about 10 minutes. We finally have it out. So, got it out, and this is what we have. Lots and lots of fuses. Now normal fuse boxes in every car I've ever looked at anyway. This would be it. Fuses, check them all looks good. But there's more. So we have to open this up, and there's 2 PCBs in here, and that's where all the relays are held. So let's start taking it apart, I guess. Got to take all the fuses out. What an idiot. So, once you've got all the fuses out, and once you've broken 2 nails, nearly snapped a screwdriver, and exhausted all your patience trying to get the case and cover off, eventually it will look like this. So we take the top cover off. We have the main PCB, and then we have the bottom plate as well. So I'm just going to keep the bottom plate there just to keep it off my dirty work surface. So inside here is your main fuse relay, which I don't know if this is going to focus or not, but there we go. It's NEC, that little one just there. So you think, right, well, I'll just change that then, but oh no. They've soldered 2 boards together. So apparently, according to the YouTube Mechanics Guide, is I have to cut every single one of these little struts here, all the way along here, all the way along the backside as well, just to be able to look to see if the solder's good or not, to even see if this is a problem. And then when I put it back together, I'm going to have to solder them all back together again. My soldering is not very good. So this is the scary bit. This is the no turning back bit. If I muck up, new board time, and they're not cheap. So I've got to cut each one of these little individual wires. I don't know what you call them. So let's go. Why am I nervous? Right. One down. 18 more to go.
3 hours later.
So, it's nearly midnight, and I've been doing this for about an hour or 2, and my soldering is so bad. If this works, I'll be absolutely amazed, because I can't even show you. It's that bad. But the basis is that I went in there expecting to see a broken relay, a bad solder, and the reality is that I took it all apart, tested the relays with 12 volts, they clicked. I've tested the continuity against the points, they were fine. I've run an ohms test across where I'm supposed to run an ohms test across, all the values coming back fine. So now I've got to kind of put it all back together again. What have I done? Once I got the relay back in, it was just 7 little solders to do, but it did take quite a lot of time, quite a lot of mistakes, and a few burns here and there. So I would 100% recommend doing your research, watching some guides, and making sure you got the right equipment, because this did take quite a lot of time. We are a couple of days later, having to wait for a few parts to arrive, namely the actual relay itself, which had to come from mainland China, which, even though it was only £9 something for the part, still having to wait was incredibly frustrating. So what I did in the meantime was found an old circuit board and practiced my soldering. So having never done it before, I had to learn. So I'm not going to win any prizes, put it that way, but we have the board soldered in. So let's see how this comes up on camera. So as you can probably tell, these are the professional worlds and these are mine. So yeah, not winning any prizes. However, the board itself is in. Now all I have to do is re-weld, I keep saying weld, resolder all of those individual lines to get it together and see if that's fixed the problem. Not massively hopeful. Right, let's get this fuse box back in then, shall we? Putting these fuse boxes back in is exactly the same process as it was taking them out. Just making sure that obviously when you're putting the plugs back in, you're super careful, because it's so easy to snap these 15-year-old plastic plugs. Fuse box is back in, so I guess we just try and start it up, see if that's fixed the problem. If it has fixed the problem, then amazing, clean up, make look pretty, sell. If it hasn't, then there'll probably be a part 2. Let's give it a go. Right, let's see. Bollocks. Right, let's take a step back. Let's think, what could it be? Fuse box, I mean, I'm probably going to order a new one because, well, second hand, because I don't think that my solders were that good, and I can't hear the fuel pump priming either. So that's one thing. It could be immobilizer based, so it could well be that there's a problem with the ignition where it's not allowing the pump to prime. It could be, I mean, I got glow plug codes, so it could be worth changing the glow plug module. After that, I really am out of ideas. So that's what we need, but I'm gonna have to order them and it's gonna take a few days. So look, thanks everyone for joining me on this one. I know it wasn't the fantastic start that we wanted, but it just means there's gonna be some more good content. Look, please like and subscribe. You know, we're gonna have a part 2 coming out soon. So yeah, see ya.